Hey, Shalom Akim, Yabashima Shah Barakatah, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well in sincerity and in truth, and to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Menasha from the DC camp. I got a quick lesson to go over. It's in Yoruba. It's one of those languages you have in Nigeria and West Africa. So I speak the Yoruba language, but it's not as sharp enough as I want it to be. But I still practice once in a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring out a few precepts and let you know that even though Israel is still scattered among the heathen, this word of the Most High is written in different languages. So just bear with me 1 second. Yep. So this is the book of Sirach, the first chapter. I'm gonna go to the main point because the Hebrew is very important to understand. But as Israel lost their identity, they began to speak different languages. They lost, how to say the name of the Most High. They lost their customs, the laws, statutes, and commandments. So I got the main point in Sirach. It says, the prologue of the wisdom of Yahweh the son of Sirach, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, but also that they desire to learn, be able to profit them which are without. Alright? And then it says, both by speaking and writing. Then says my grandfather Yahushua, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and have gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. So I'm going to go to the main point. One of my favorite precepts is Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter and the first verse. It says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord Yahweh, our power, is one Lord. Okay. Just go ahead and read it to you in the Hebrew. And I could read it, by heart, from memory. So you have Shammai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Read to you about 2 more times. Shammai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shammai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. And then I pull up the Yoruba for you. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Alright, so you have the book of Genesis on top there. So I'm just going to go all the way to Deuteronomy. Then I will go to chapter 6. And I'll read to you in verse 4. So it says, Egbo Israeli, that means, hear, O Israel, Oluwa Ọlọ́run yín, Oluwa kan ṣoṣo ni. I read to you one more time, well, two more times. Egbo Israeli, Oluwa Ọlọ́run yín, Oluwa kan ṣoṣo ni. That means, Yahweh Alahai Nawa, Yahweh Alahai Nawa, Akkad. I'll just read to one properly from the Hebrew, because I get too excited when I read in the Hebrew. So it says, Shema Yasharala, Yahweh Alahai Nawa, Yahweh Akkad. So Shema Yasharala, Yahweh Alahai Nawa, Yahweh Akkad. Yeah, just bear with me. We got all these pop-ups. You gotta deal with. We're not trying to make money with this video. But so it says, Egbo Israeli, hear Israel, Oluwa Ọlọ́run Yahweh Alahai Nawa, the Lord your power, Yahweh. Oluwa, that's all. Also, you could use that as for Yahweh. It's one. Kan Shoshoni. When Kan means one, and then it says when you have the S with a dot underneath, it's just like saying the shy character in Yahweh Shai. So they have Shosho means only. Ni mean when it says ni means ease. So I read to you one more time. It says Egbo. When it say the letter A right there with a dot underneath is really talking to a person directly. The GBO with the upward stroke, angling to the right. That's the sharp O sound with a dot underneath. So that makes it O. And you have have the word Israel there, and you have the dot underneath the E. That makes it E. So you have the word Israeli, or pronounce it the Yoruba, we say Israeli, Oluwa Ọlọ́run yín. We have the O with a dot underneath. It makes it a short and sharp O. Say Ọlọ́run yín, that means your power, Yahweh, your power. Oluwa kan ṣoṣo ni, he's the only one, he is one. So that right there lets you know that the word of the Most High can be written in different languages, but it doesn't have the same force as by the Hebrew. Because when Yahweh Shai was speaking to Paul, he spoke to him. Paul, spoke to him in the Hebrew tongue. And then let me get to another precept here. I'm going to get you the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Then I take it to the Yoruba. Just bear with me 1 second. Alright, so it talks about you. So in Yoruba, the word for Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, is Iwe. The word for book in Yoruba is Iwe. And when you say Proverbs, that's Owe. So that's O-W-E, Iwe. That's the book of Proverbs. And then Psalms is known as only Daffy or the songs of David. So I pull up the book of Proverbs, and then I go to chapter 4, verse 7. It's something totally different. Alright, so this is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. So it says, Bí o bá fẹ́ gbọ́n, bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́gbọ́n. And it says, ohun yóò wù tí ó lè tún ni ọgbọ́n lójú nítorí náà jẹ́ ọlọ́gbọ́n. Alright, just bear with me 1 second. I would get that ready for you. Alright. Just bear with me 1 second. Alright, so that right there is, give me 1 second, let me get the proper. So it says, bí o bá fẹ́ gbọ́n, that means if you want to be wise, bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́gbọ́n, you have to start learning. So, you see the Hebrew word for beginning, you're looking at the breakdown for Genesis, they say in Barayash or Barayashat. In the Yoruba, the word for beginning there is bere, means to start or to begin. And then the word there for see means to start. Well, you have to. Meaning bere sí kọ́gbọ́n. Ohun yóò wù tí ó lè tún ni. So it says ọgbọ́n lójú, meaning wisdom is the main thing. And it says nítorí náà jẹ́ ọlọ́gbọ́n. I'll read it one more time. It says, bí o bá fẹ́ gbọ́n, bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́gbọ́n. Ohun yóò wù tí ó lè tún ni ọgbọ́n lójú, nítorí náà jẹ́ ọlọ́gbọ́n. So that is, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. I'll read it one more time. So it's in Proverbs 4 and 7 says, bí o bá fẹ́ gbọ́n, bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́gbọ́n. Ohun yóò wù tí ó lè tún ni ọgbọ́n lójú, nítorí náà jẹ́ ọlọ́gbọ́n. So it's telling you, wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy wisdom, get understanding. With all thy getting, get understanding. So I'll pull out the blue letter and let you know. Well, I'm just going to go to the book of Acts, because it was just, prophecy. Acts chapter 2, it says, and when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues, like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man had them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia, in Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues the words, the wonderful works of Yahweh. And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, What meaneth this? Okay. Yep. What meaneth this? So, that's just fulfillment of prophecy, man. Yep. It's just the Most High pouring out His Spirit upon the disciples back then and now, to have the gift to speak in different tongues, other languages. So, just bear with 1 second. Let me do another quick just bear with me. I got to other precept I want to bring up. So I'll get you, let's see, I just did a search on 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. Okay, so I'm going to start, let me just start from the main point. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse, I'll start from 3. But he that prophesied speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesied edifieth the church. I would that ye all speak with tongues, but rather that ye prophesied. For greater is he that prophesied than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying. In verse 6 it says, Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you, except I speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine, and even things without life giving sounds, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how it shall be known what is piped or harped. Yep. So well, let me just continue to read. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So likewise, except you utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air. There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world. That's the languages, humans, and then, the sounds of animals, and none of them is without distinction. Therefore, if I know not what the meaning of the voice, therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian, and he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me. Even so ye, forasmuch as ye are zealous of spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church. Wherefore let him that speaketh in an unknown tongue pray that he may interpret. For if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prayeth, but my understanding is unfruitful. What is it then? I will pray with the spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. I will sing with the spirit, and I will sing with the understanding also. Else, when thou shalt bless with the spirit, how shall he that occupied the room of the unlearned say Amen at the giving of thanks, seeing he understandeth not what thou sayest? For thou verily give thanks well, but the other is not edified. I thank my power, I speak with tongues more than ye all. Yet in the church I rather speak 5 words with my understanding, that by my voice I might teach others also, than 10,000 words in an unknown tongue. Brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. Verse 21, in the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. And yet for all that will not hear me, saith the Lord. I read one more time, verse 21. In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. Well, brothers know where that precepts is in Isaiah. And yet, for all that will they not hear me, saith the Lord. Wherefore tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not, but for them which believe. If therefore the whole church be come together into one place, and all speak with tongues, and there come in those that are unlearned or unbelievers, will they not say that ye are mad? But if all prophesy, and there come in one that believeth not, or one unlearned, he is convinced of all, he is judged of all. And thus are the secrets of his heart made manifest. And so falling down on his face, he will worship Yahweh, and report that Yahweh is in you of a truth. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you had a psalm, how to doctrine, how to tongue, how to revelation, how to interpretation? Let all things be done unto edifying. If any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by 2, or at the most 3, and that by course, and and let one interpret. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silence in the church, and let him speak to himself and to Yahweh. All right. So that's yep. Yep. That's good enough. So, brothers, I want to read the rest, we read the rest. But other than that, the scriptures are very heavy. And then I'll get you the book of Psalms. Psalm 68 verse 11. It's one of my favorite precepts. It says, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. Alright? So that's the work of the prophets, to publish the work of the Most High, to prophesy, to make public. So I'll go back to the Yoruba and I read to you Psalm 68 verse 11. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm just using one of those cheap apps, but nevertheless, it still works. Alright, Psalm 68. So that's 68 verse 11 right there. So what if you see Oluwa in capital letters? That was talking about the Most High Yahweh. So there it says Oluwa for him. That means the Most High gave the word. Ogunlogo. That means great company. Ogunlogo sì ní àwọn tí ó kéde ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀. Read one more time. Oluwa for him. Ogunlọ́gọ̀ sì ni àwọn tí ó kéde ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀. So that means, like it says in the English translation, it says, the Most High gave the word, great was the company of them that published it. So you could tell there's a huge difference, man. The vibration is totally off. If you look at the Hebrew and the Yoruba, is totally different. Pull up the Hebrew right here. Psalm 68 verse 11. So that right there tells you. Okay, so that's Adanya, Nathan, that's Amar, great, that's Rab, Tazaba, that's the company, Basar, published. So that there's Adanya, let's see. Yan Natamara, so like I can't even see it clearly, but I mean birds get the gist. You see the word Adanya there. You see the word Tazabar. You see the Hebrew word Rab. So you have Amar. Okay. Yatan. Okay, let's see. Now that is Amar. One second. One moment. That's ha hamabash rath hama hamabarash hamabashar. Hmm. Yeah, you better want to say, can't remember it properly. So you got the ha, you got the ma, you got the ba, sha, ra, wa, and the tha. That's hamabash hamabashrath hamabashrath. Yeah, so that word there is not really translated. So you have Adanya, Nathan, Amar, and then you have Rab, it was great, company, Tazaba, and you have Bashar. Alright, let's read it properly. That's Hamabashar Wat. Hamabashar Wat. So that's Adanya Yan Yatan Yatan Amar Hamabash Bashrawat Basharwat Hamabasharwat Tazaba Rab. Yeah, you just gotta practice more in the Hebrew. Sometimes you practice, it flows, properly. Your tongue doesn't get twisted up. But eventually, once the Most High warms up your spirit, everything starts to flow just like water in a stream. Yep. So in verse 11 says, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. And then go back to the Yoruba. That's what I gotta deal with. I'm trying to go the cheap way. Yeah, you're gonna have nothing but pop-ups. So verse 11, Psalm 68 says, Olúwa fọhùn, ogunlọ́gọ̀ sì ni àwọn tí ó kéde ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀. Yep. So the Most High gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. Yep. And then it's one of those precepts that you can never forget. So I'll just go back to let's see, I'll try Proverbs, the first chapter. So this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. It says, wisdom cried without, she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simply ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn ye at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Yep. So that's also part of the prophecy of the disciples. Distributing that wisdom to the jakes from the foreign lands. So I go to Proverbs chapter 1. I'm just going to read 21. All right. Then it says, it says, ó ń kígbe lórí odi ìlú, ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní àwọn ẹnubodè ìlú. Ó ní, ẹ̀yin aláìmọ̀kan, that means you simple ones, ẹ ò tí pẹ́ tọ̀ nínú àìmọ̀kan yín. That means ẹ tí pé tó nínú àìmọ̀kan yín. That means how long will you love simplicity? Àwọn pẹ̀gànpẹ̀gàn yóò ti ní àwọn pẹ̀gànpẹ̀gàn yóò ti ní inú dídùn pé tó nínú ẹ̀gàn pípa wọn. So that's verse 22. I read it properly. Give me 1 second. It says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scornings, and fools hate knowledge. Yep. So, ẹ̀yin aláìmọ̀kan, ẹ ò tí pẹ́ nínú àìmọ̀kan yín. Àwọn pẹ̀gànpẹ̀gàn yóò ti ní inú dídùn pé tó nínú ẹ̀gàn pípa wọn. Tí àwọn òmùgọ̀ yóò sì kórìíra ìmọ̀. So when you basically say someone's an òmùgọ̀, that's the OMUGO, meaning a dummy. So that's verse 22. One more time, it says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So another word for fool in Yoruba is òmùgọ̀. Yep. So let me bounce back to if I get let me just get you Revelations, the first chapter, Revelations chapter 1 verse 3. It says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So this will be a good point to stop and get you some more details, Lord willing, in the next lesson. So this is a proverb. Actually, it's like let me get the book of Revelations. So the book of Revelation in Yoruba is also known as Ifihan, meaning to show, to reveal. Alright, so I'm going to read you Proverbs chapter 1 verse 3. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm tired of these pop-ups in the bottom, but don't let that distract you. So alright. So verse 3 of Revelations chapter 1. Let me get this properly. It's not even coming on click. Alright, so this is Revelations chapter 1 verse 3. He says, ẹni tí ó bá ń ka ọ̀rọ̀ àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ yìí àti àwọn tí ó bá ń gbọ́. That means, blessed is he that readeth. That's the first line. It says, ẹni tí ó bá ń ka ọ̀rọ̀ àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ yìí. That means whoever is reading this word. Àti àwọn tí ó bá ń gbọ́, and those that are hearing it. Tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe àwọn ohun tí a kọ, and you're doing whatever is written. Ṣe oríire. When they say oríire, it means you're blessed. Nítorí àkókò. Well, they didn't say that properly. Nítorí àkókò tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ súnmọ́ tòsí. So it says, nítorí àkókò tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ súnmọ́ tòsí. Then it says, this is the time it's going to be fulfilled. So if we go back again and look at Revelations chapter 1 verse 3, it says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So for the time is at hand, that's translated as nítorí àkókò tí ó yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ súnmọ́ tòsí. Meaning the time is at hand, just like in the book of Habakkuk. At the end it shall speak. So that right there lets you know, man, the vibration you get from reading the Yoruba is totally different from when you're reading the Hebrew. Yeah, because it takes a while to get to master the language. Sometimes, you gotta take your time. Well, you always gotta take your time to read the word properly. Because, some words could mean different things, depending on how you use it. So I read that Revelations chapter 1 verse 3 one more time. It says, ẹni tí ó bá ń ka, when it says read in Yoruba, it means ka, K-A. Ẹni tí ó bá ń ka ọ̀rọ̀ means words. Àsọtẹ́lẹ̀, that's prophecy. Yìí means this, and is àti. Àwọn, that's those. Tí ó bá ń gbọ́, those that are hearing. Tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe ohun tí a kọ. Those that are doing it, just like the book in Romans tells you, hearers, you gotta be doers. Here it's telling the same thing. So tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe àwọn ohun tí a kọ, ṣe oríire, meaning they shall be blessed. Nítorí àkókò tí ó yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ súnmọ́ tòsí. So when the word for happen is we have the S-E-L-E with the dots underneath. So when you have the S with the E with the dots underneath, that makes it the sound sh. Just like in the character, if we have a shy, the shy sound, and we have the E with the dots underneath, it's E. And then we have the mark slanting backwards to the left. That's kind of you call the amisale. Meaning it's like you drag it, but you don't put so much emphasis on make it sharp. You just make it long, but not too long. So we say shele, meaning happen, and then near is sumo. So you have the the little character, bro, the U, that makes it a short U sound, and the little line above the O, the dot underneath, makes it a short, the sharp O, meaning the O sound. Sumo, sumo, to, see. So see when the O doesn't have a dot underneath, you basically, making your mouth round, but it's basically the O sound. And then it says tosi, meaning nearer. Sumo tosi, it's getting nearer. So sumo means near, tosi, near. They both mean the same thing. So that's about it for now, Akim. All praises to God by Shema Shai. And, speaking the language is kind of, it's a big challenge. You just gotta, practice every now and then. You got Yoruba movies you could watch if just to make your Yoruba, better. You got books, they got audio Bibles on there you could listen to. It kind of makes your understanding of your language better. And then, you know how it is. The Most High just put His word out there in different languages, so that when you hear it, you understand. If it rings well with you. And then, let's see. Let me just get Romans. Sometimes you want to stop, you just got to keep on going on to the Most High, tells you stop. So this is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. Alright, so I'll pull it up in Yoruba for you and I'll read it out. Bear with me. So I'm looking for the book of Romans, Ephesians, Corinthians, Rome. Alright, I'll go to chapter 8. So it says in verse 16, it says, Ẹ̀mí kan náà ni ó sọ sí wa lọ́kàn pé ọmọ Ọlọ́run ni wá. Meaning, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the sons of the Most High. There it doesn't say Ọmọ doesn't mean son, it just means child. But it's the same thing, it just use the word to represent child. So in verse 16 of Romans 8 chapter, it says, Ẹ̀mí means spirit, Kan, K-N, means one, is all same. It says, Ẹ̀mí kan náà ní ń sọ sí wa lọ́kàn, meaning the Spirit is speaking to our mind. Pé means that. Ọmọ Ọlọ́run ni wá. So ẹ̀mí kan náà ní ń sọ sí wa lọ́kàn pé ọmọ Ọlọ́run ni wá. So that's the Yoruba for Romans chapter 8 verse 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. So with all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that bring out the word of Yahweh Shema Shai in sincerity and in truth, and the hopeful elect that are diligent, say Shalom.